You really want to have a sense of rocking motion all the way through with the left hand as it's written. It really has 4 triplets, but I think of one pair as one beat, and the other pair might be a little less. Second half of the measure sort of melts a little away. 1, 2, lean, be really careful that the bass note is from where you spring into what's rolling out of the triplets. You can do the fundamental bass. First measure is 2 times. Second measure, this is the very bottom note. Now F sharp, A, G, D sharp. Look how I pull these notes out this way. Pull. Okay, so when I do that, when I say pull, so I don't approach any of those bass notes with a punchy finger or going vertically, but this is a bed of honey all the way through the piano, so that means there's resistance when you go into these bass notes. As you can see how I do with my wrist. So that's going to be very important. It's how you create the very foundational note on the bottom from which you spring into these relentless triplets that are rocking back and forth every group of 2 pair. Every group of 2 pair is really a beat. For now, for practice reasons, we don't play it fast. Now, when you want to balance off your right hand naturally has got to be deeper. It's the vocal line. It's the soloist. So in this piece, the soloist is the right hand relentlessly. So I'm going to pull this G out. When I say pull, I'm pulling my finger toward me, but I'm not sliding on the note. There's one spot on the note from which I'm pulling in, as it's a bed of honey, so you're pulling into that note. Pull. And that falls down out of that long note. Push. And go to there. And a little more here so you can fall down to there. Lean. You have more here. Falling down. Lean. Of course, the balance will be more into this hand and less with the triplets running through that. You don't want the triplets to overshadow the melody ever. So in that measure, with the D sharp and the B, which is measure 4, you're pushing into here. Even more push. Here's the balance. Push. And more and falling down. Lean. Now this is 3 pedals. That's a better pedal. Notice here. So you don't want that to drown out the melodic line because it was in thirds. These are called parallel thirds. Thirds mean that these are little minor third, minor third, minor third. So totally less. So that's a lot of subtlety because you have to keep that left hand down. It has to be very evenly spaced, but it has to be rocking motion and it has to be rolling out of the bass note. The bass note's not going to be punched, but it's going to be extracted from the honey, that fundamental bass. Now the next section, you've come out of a decay here. This is decaying, right? So you got to be real careful about measure 6 because suddenly we have piano, but I would say come in on the very end of the stream of the decay of the previous measure. So this was already falling away, right? So come in soft, really soft, because that first B is going to the longer note, the second B. So you're going B, B, da. So be careful that you don't get bam, ba, but you get there, fold in this, upstairs, there, float these, go to there, and fold in the A sharp. such an easy place for this left hand to start popping out because this is decaying, falling into the resolution here, and finally B minor. So this is called a suspension because it's a second, and it has to resolve into a third, and then it finally resolves to the tonic B. So this really goes to the dominant of B minor with a suspended second here, which is that's what's happening there. You can see how subtle this is. Now remember I said you could do the top line with the right fingering. 5, push, float these, push. This is just the top line. And the bottom line you can do separate very softly. Thumb. Then we have 3, 2, 3. I do always use the right fingering. There, fold in the sharp. Go to the D. You have a little bit of a crescendo here. Oh, there. Okay, now you have a little bridge back to the theme, and the bridge is these 3 notes. And we talked about the fact that we want to listen to these voices as they go in contrary motion. Hands go in opposite directions where you have this. So that's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear the busy work notes in between, which are the CBs. You want to hear these parting harmonies between the D sharp and the A. I'll just do 2 fingers. You're going to make a little swell there. I'm pushing into that instead of that. You don't want anything like that. We'll give you that singing the cantabile way. Actually, the cantabile means the singing tone all the way through this, particularly the right hand as this solo singer with the broken chords, and the left hand harmonically thread. But also the left hand provides, by the way it's written, all of these triplets, it provides a rolling rocking motion, the way it's construed all the way through the piece. So that's going to be very indicative of the texture of the piece, is to have the rocking motion in the left hand, and seamless, because we don't want to have any up and down notes. We want seamless groupings of notes. Roll. Okay, so this also has to be, with the octaves, has to be very even. Now the B's on top of the melody. B, B, under voice, upper voice, open it up. So right there. B, da, This view, of course, doesn't show you the way my wrist is rolling, but I might do another video just on this page, which will show you the way my wrists are moving. These octaves, I'm going to do some different fingering, where on the black octave notes with the sharps, I'm going to use 1/4. With the white note octaves, I'm going to use, for the most part, not always, I'm going to use 1/5, but there are places where I might use 1/4 as well on the white notes. I'm going to look at this fingering in this edition slowly to see. This gives you a little better legato other than the 5/5/5, but I still think with small hands that You can do the illusion of legato with small hands, but I'm going to look at this now slowly and follow some of these fingerings. So this is at measure 10. So what I do is I cheat on the thumb, so I relax my hand more. See what I do? So I let go of that thumb so I don't get tense. 5, 4, 4, 5, 4, 5. Of course, the rest is not. Let's see. Let go of the thumb here. I'm going to do 5, 4, 4, 5, 4. 5, 4, 4, 5, 4, 5. So by letting go of the thumb, relaxing the thumb, like this, okay? Because you don't want to like keep your hand in this frozen, framed position of the octave. When you do it, it's just going to come out very tight. So you let your hand kind of gather, because the pedal is holding down certainly the long note. The long note, the pedal is holding that down. And then these, you're pedaling a lot. Yeah, I think that works. 4, 5, 4. Let go of the thumb. 5, 4, 4, 5, 4, 5. The only tricky one is the end. There's a little straining on my hand. So I might do at the end, I might not do the 5, 4, 5 at the end. Let's see if I can change the end. 4, 5, 4. 5, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. So I did 4, 5, 5, 5 at the end. You're doing the illusion of legato by just floating your arms sideways with these octaves. But some of these places with the 5, 4 kind of make it a little bit more of a legato. Push. So let go of the thumb. Now I did it. I actually did their fingering at work because I relaxed my thumb. The whole idea is relaxing your thumb. My piano teacher used to have me just do things like this. You know, just with my wrist. So that I wouldn't get tight in my thumb. Then she'd have me do the top voice a little bit more and then lighter on the thumbs. And the thumbs were just like feather light. Upper voice. 4, 5, push. 5, 4, 4, 5, 4, push. Ta-da, ta-da. By letting go of the thumb, it was almost like I was just playing top notes. So I think that's the strategy to possibly use when you're playing these octaves, even using sometimes 4 on the black ones, or just 5. Think horizontally and float an illusion of legato. Now the next part, again, you want to make sure you have a sense of what the upper voice is versus what the lower voice. So the lower voice doesn't intrude at any moment on the upper voice. So that's why sometimes I tell students do the upper voice first, the soprano line, with the correct fingering, of course, and then do the alto voice alone with the correct fingering. So it came out of this, less, inner voice, upper voice, builds. That's where it gets, it says poco and poco crescendo. So that's what you're going to do. But the upper voice goes 3, 3, 4, float 2, 3, go 2, 4, float 2, 3, 3. These the fingerings. You'll get the legato with the finger below. This is the upper voice. Upper voice. That's your upper voice. Your inner voice is 2-1, substitute. And we have 2 lower notes. And then 1 note. 2 notes. 1 note. And it's very soft. See, that's how you have to practice, so you know what the lower notes are so they don't intrude, but you still understand the line that's below the top line, but then you balance toward the top line. C and float the A's to the next one. Go to there, float to there, and there. It's a crescendo. Then it's going to fall down. So the balance of the voice is very important, how to do that. And you use a little bit more arm weight when you're bringing out an upper voice, and you use less arm weight on your lower fingers. That's something you learn to feel. That's the sense of touch. This hand is just rocking. That's going to be relentless and well below the right hand. Melody is not exactly can compete with this lower range, so this really has to come out where you're doing. See, I'm bringing it out more. How I voice it. That's why this piece is so fussy about how you're voicing your varying weights of your arms, because your arms are really playing your hands. It's feeding the ins and outs of the dynamics, not from your fingers, but it's coming down your arm. So you have to learn how you leverage your arm weight down into your relaxed hands. These must be very relaxed when you play.